To me, home is a place you can come to and just feel safe and comfortable.
Home specifically to me means, somewhere where I plan to establish a family.
I am medically retired Marine Corporal Jed Morgan.
Corporal Kyle Moser, E4 in the United States Marines. What really set off for me was, I was on my way to school one morning. My dad was driving, he was dropping me off at elementary school, and we were hearing on the radio 9/11 happening. And I knew right then and there, this is my country and this cannot be happening, and I wanted to serve my country to stop things like that.
I just felt like I needed to do something bigger and better.
We first met at the end of high school. That was 2010. We only dated for about a month before he left for boot camp. I would write him a letter every single day, and so that definitely helped.
They would try to give us like one day a week where we could just kind of rest. So on that time, I'd get all the letters and just read them, or at night when I get back from a patrol, I'd go and just read them before going to bed.
I got deployed to Helmand Province, Afghanistan, August 31st, 2011. 3 months later, on November 10th, 2011, we were on a convoy and struck an IED. And that's where I got my first Purple Heart. And then 12 days later, we were conducting a KLE, which is a key leader engagement. We came upon this area that seemed pretty fishy, looking like somebody just laid in an IED. And I turned around to my team leader. That step back is when I stepped on the pressure plate.
I got told I needed to pick up and move to a different area because I was a saw gunner, and so with having an automatic weapon, I needed to be in an area that was most advantageous for laying down heavy amounts of fire if needed. So I got up, moved over, laid back down, and I already had one leg that was straight out, and when I laid that down, that's what triggered the IED, and then it was just a flash of white.
I woke up to a phone call from a strange number, and at first I thought it was Kyle calling me from Afghanistan, because when he could call me, it was always a weird phone number. But it was actually some gunnery sergeant from headquarters Marines telling me that Kyle got injured, and all that they knew at the time, or that they could tell me at the time, was that he lost both of his legs and that he had lacerations to his right arm.
They didn't think I was going to make it. They flew my whole family up there to kind of say their last goodbyes.
At Walter Reed, things were tailored specifically for double amputees and wheelchairs or prosthetics, and here he needs to kind of, as the Marines would say, adapt and overcome, which he is really good at doing, but he can only do so much. Living in the apartment we're in now, he can't really cook in the kitchen because the kitchen isn't big enough. He can't reach the plates from the cabinets because it's up too high.
It's difficult for him to go up and down the stairs, and it takes a long time, which is frustrating for him.
With my daughter, I can't just like bend down and pick her up and, run around with her or whatever. It's, I have to be careful where I'm at. It has to be level ground and things like that.
I think having a house that's built with his needs in mind would make a world of a difference, and it would give him a little more independence.
He called me and said, hey Kyle, this is Jared Allen. I'm like, wow, I got a call from the man himself.
We're extremely, extremely grateful, and there's nothing we could ever do or say to show how much gratitude and thankfulness we have.
I want to say thank you, but I just feel like that's not even close to enough to how I feel in my heart.
What you're doing is more important than just building a house. You're building up a family, and you're helping people through some of the most difficult times in their life.
I would just like to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. The other homes that you guys have helped raise money for, I've just seen and heard stories of how amazing it's been for them and just how it's impacted their life. And I was going to be the same for us. So we were extremely grateful for everything that you're doing.
I'm at a loss for words, and I explained them coming out of the Marine Corps very seriously, I said, if there's any testing going on with somebody in an Ironman suit or something like that, let me know, because I want to be the first one to go over there and serve our country again.